Okay, this little video on the historic game of Skittles. As you can see, it resembles a pinball table, and there are pins. Underneath each pin is a value. Like, for instance, this would be a 5. You can see the number 5 there. And as we get down to the other end of the board, these are 10s. In the corners here, we've got 50s. And then in the box that's hardest to get is the 100-point king pin. That's where we get that term, king pin. I'll show you a up close of that. No, you got that. Okay, so what we have is a top like this. And it looks like it wouldn't stand up, but once it gets spinning, it will. So we have to wind the string around the top as such. We try not to cross the string. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it down through this little slot here. And this is the little bit of skill that's involved is when we pull the string. It spins the top. The top tries to work its way through the course and knock over pins for certain values. I'm not doing very good. It's going to get, oh man, see, there's a lot of kind of fate work involved here, and that's the thing. We'll try to get a better example of that from a higher up angle and over to the side or from the other end of the board. So I thought while I was out here, I would show you the lovely front lawn post construction of the new curvy sidewalk and some of our trees and our lovely lawn. But there's the new sidewalk and the new flower bed configuration around our historic fountain. We'll keep panning around here and try not to make you sick. Here we go, over, and you can see Lady Baxter over in the corner, the cannon. A lot of stories along with her. That's the horse trough. This little square box here was the horse watering trough. Back before we had automobiles, it's now a planter. It's a good use of it. And we come right around to the famous facade and portico of the lovely Old State House Museum. It is quite a magnificent structure, I got to say, to work in. It's a lovely place. It's very beautiful. All right, we'll get back to Skittles here in momentarily. So here we go. I'm going to set up the one pin I knocked over that time. I got to say that these Skittles boxes or Skittles tables are slightly leaning downhill. That makes for a more adventurous game for my students because I want the kids to have a good time. So you can kind of get an idea. I'm going to try. The camera stand was in the way last time, so I couldn't really get a good solid spin on it. Oh man, see, that would be a tilt, just like in your modern, I say modern even though it's probably not modern anymore, pinball machines. If you were to lean the table slightly, if I knock a pin over like that, then that would be a tilt. I've seen grown men yell and scream at this game late at night. Obviously, you can gamble on quite a bit of the things. You can have cumulative point gambles. You can also gamble on single highest scores or the amount of scores in 3 different turns, or the one to hit the highest pin, which I did hit one pin here. So this is Skittles, and this is just a short informative video on the Skittles game itself. Okay, so I thought I would show just a better full table view so you can really see how this thing works, okay? So it really is a lot of fun. We've got 2 of these boards and the tables, and we set them up for a lot of our family events, and it's something that people can stay at if we've got a no crowd and they can play for some time. We've got a large crowd and people want to do it, we can roll them through pretty quickly because it's a, you know, you have one chance and then you get at the back of the line. We got some kids that'll do it over and over again. This is a game that's just fun to play. We usually don't do any kind of prizes with it or anything. We just allow people to listen about it. I didn't tell you how I come upon them, but I will right after this roll. All right, so when we do it clean, I've got a -10, and I've kind of got myself blocked in there, and that's just no fair at all. So I might have to do it again. Yes, I'm just going to keep rolling on this one and show you. All right, so how we got to do this. We were going to do a frost fair years ago. We're on a river right at the back of our building here, and it gets cold here, but it doesn't really freeze up down in Little Rock anymore. But in January, it was kind of a slow month, and we were going to have a day we brought people out, and it was cold out, and we had, you know, kettle corn and hot chocolate, and just a family day outside in the winter. So we started studying, and the first thing that comes up is the frost fairs they used to have on the banks of the Thames in London, England. When the old London Bridge was still around, it would trap ice, and it would freeze up, and they would have these whole cities built out on the ice, right there at the Thames, and they would have gambling and lots of things that were really not considered a thing in parts of the town area, but they could get away with a lot out on the river because that was not considered part of the city or the old town, and this was way back. Okay, this is Middle Ages. I think if it doesn't escape me, somewhere around the 1200 they were doing frost fairs, okay, all the way up until when they replaced the old London Bridge. And so on there, two things stuck out as I was reading through this. They were playing Skittles and bowls a lot, and I had no idea what this was, right? And so we looked and looked, and finally I come across this game, and I found there's a college. It's one of these unique colleges where you don't pay tuition, you work, and they give you a set of skills, and it's Berea College. I believe it's Berea, and it's over in Kentucky, and it's a craft school, and it's really amazing. They sold us these, and you'll forgive me, I'm going to say they were somewhere about $170 10 years ago. I've seen a couple of other people have them and or have made them, and I know of about 4 Skittles games. Some people have heard of it, and some people have seen it, but like I said, through Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas, I know of about 4 of them, and we have 2 of them right here in front of us. So the other game, the Skittles and bowls. This was Skittles, and bowls were actually a type of game that's probably like curling, which we see in the northern climates, but we associate that with bowling, lawn bowling, more like bocce ball. And so these are the types of games we played at that first winter fair back in 2006, and we did similar games in this past year, in January in 2016. But the big favorites for almost all family events, the go-to is the Skittles games. We always we take these also to the tavern scene when we do living history events. And I know you're just looking at a board, and I was talking. I'm sorry, I should play another game. I did knock a 51 down legally that time. All right, so this video is getting longer than it should have, and here we go. I managed to not have Mr. Cockrell's face on the video very much this time. Come on, there we go. And so the centrifugal force, oh, look at that, kingpin, yay. I'm already at, that's 200 points. Now, if I could just get it to come back this way. No, all right, that's about all we got for you. So I will wrap up. Okay, so this was another one of the short informative videos on something kind of historic and interesting. And I know at least one person out there that is kind of interested to find out what Skittles is and how it relates to, you know, things we do here in our mission, and just a little history behind it. And it's really fun to play, and it's a unique game because it doesn't require electricity. It goes back really far, and it's something that we would see historically accurate for almost all of American history because it does predate colonial America. And there are, you know, minimal references to it, but we know it was around, and we see some, you know, the college that made this is over in Appalachia. So if you got any questions, again, try to find me, send me an email. I will do my best to answer questions on Skittles. Thank you very much.